first, before we start with the actual nonsense, first I want to show you guys this. This is really funny. So, Teros has no moves that hit people while stacked. So if you really want to mess with Teros, just get right on top of him. Alright? All of these moves of his have like really inconsistent hitboxes, and they all come out in forward. So you can totally underspace Teros on the axe right now. The best one that he's got is standing neutral, but it only hits about half of the time. And the character still has to be all the way in front of you. If you're like this, it whiffs. So, you know, just think about that. So, that's something that's funny. Also, this move will not hit stacked characters. And if this move, if they're like right in front of you, like right about here, and you do it, it'll still miss. And if you're right about here, it'll still miss. And here's the best part. If you're right here, it'll still miss. And let's see, if you're like, about this close, oh, it'll still miss. And here, oh, we got the first hit for 2.2 damage, but not the second one. So I'm actually trying to talk to the devs about fixing this. Here's the other really funny thing. I don't know if I can space this properly, but you can actually whiff the second hit of this if incorrectly spaced. If like the other guy is sleeping in the exact spot, like for the turnaround, it'll miss. I'm not a game developer, Sleepy John, but a lot of I've been working on getting jobs in the games industry for the last 4 years. So I know a lot about the games industry, and I'm connected to a lot of people in the games industry. Some of my close friends work at really cool games companies, and yeah, so I'm a member of the International Game Developers Association. Like, I'm, you know, rocking and rolling. I love the games industry. It's awesome, despite all the problems it sometimes has. There we go. We need to turn the music up. Okay. So anyway. Alright, so if you want to beat Teros, just be stacked on top of him. Hopefully this will get fixed soon. Well, that does work some of the time. But not all the time. I'm hoping that this ends up getting like a more generous hitbox, because if you're like in this position, like where they're just slightly behind you, it misses. Like you basically need them like in front of you at this range, because if you're back here, it whiffs. You know? So it's the spacing on his axe moves are kind of annoying. And then we all know what happens here again with this dropping. So I'm hoping that they're gonna fix at least the hitboxes on some of these axe signatures and normals, because that would be much better. Oh man, so let's talk about Teros. Teros is in an interesting spot right now because he is kind of a high-risk, high-reward player. He's got some really good moves that come out, you know, decently fast, and he hits like a truck. And I will say that part of the reason why I enjoy playing Teros is because of the fact that hitting anybody with any Teros move is stupidly satisfying. And you can do like ridiculous crap like this, which is also super fun. So yeah, that's part of why Teros is fun. But the challenge with Teros is the fact that basically his moves have very little priority. So like you can see, like with this move, the hitbox doesn't actually come out until halfway through the move animation, right? So for one, it's not consistent to land. If people are stacked on you, it completely whiffs. If people are close to you, it still whiffs because it can be underspaced. So this move still, though, is your best tool. Now, Teros currently doesn't have a true combo, but the one that I just did here is the closest that you can get. And up until you get to Platinum, you can hit people with this pretty consistently. To get out of this, all you need to do is press the dodge button. But it is kind of a frame trap because you can't attack during that window. So if you try to attack in response, Teros is going to hit you. But if you dodge, you're fine. Still, this is like one of the best things that Teros can do is this combo, because if it does hit, it's really good. Alright, so let's see. What's next? Alright, so you want to use your side air pretty good. You can actually outspace some things with this. It has about the same reach as the sword side air, it just comes out faster. you want to get used to doing the instant version. So you don't want to do this where there's a delay. You want to do it instantly so that it comes out as quickly as possible. Landing one of these feels really good. So use this move as much as you want. Now, the next move that people use a lot is this one. And the reason for this is because it stuffs a lot of other grounded moves. It's also really good in edge guard scenarios because it kind of hits behind you as well. So it hits kind of like the whole circular range underneath. You can see there's the little green hitboxes that kind of start with it. Now, you can hit people on the ground with this, but it's like, but you can't, the best way to use this is like to just instant it like this. Now, once you get that going, you can then follow up with other things. But this one is pretty awesome. Now, this downlight, even though you don't have, it won't hit people who are stacked on top of you. What this is good in for right now is for punishing jump-ins. You can actually punish Ada's spear signature with this if you see it coming, which is kind of cool. I have no idea what the colors mean yet. I'm thinking maybe it's like force amount. Because that would make like all sorts of sense. No, doesn't make sense for that one. Okay, let's talk about this move. So his standing neutral is pretty bad. It has, like, if you look at the recovery frames, it has almost as much recovery frames as this downlight. So you don't really ever want to use this move. It doesn't really come out that fast. The only thing it has going for it is that it hits people where the other moves don't. And it can occasionally catch people who are coming out of the air. So, yeah. It's okay, but it's very situational. You're almost always better doing this one, just because it's typically safer. Unless they're like right on top of you, in which case, you know, use this one. It doesn't hit everyone who is stacked. They still have to be like in front of you. So like here it'll hit, but here it won't. So it's kind of spacing sensitive. If it's like directly on top of you, it'll miss. But if you're about here, it'll hit. So the other problem with this is that you can get interrupted during the second hit if like it comes out poorly or if there's like a weapon toss. So you won't always get the second hit. Alright, so let's talk about this move. His recovery is kind of interesting. The axe recovery. Because basically to hit somebody with it, it doesn't have a lot of priority, so you will get smacked out of it if you're just tossing it around. But it has amazing force on it. So like you do want to be tossing these out. The other nice thing is because it has all this sudden movement, it's also really good for like when you just want to like kind of take the other guy by surprise. And it also has this hitbox that hits behind them, which is also interesting. So this move gets beat by dive kicks, side airs, and all sorts of other stuff all day, so you really only want to use this in a chasing scenario. And the problem with that is that it's difficult to follow up because of how much force that it has, and if you get dodged through it, then you're kind of in trouble. Alright, so let's talk about this move. This move is actually his best move, in my opinion. It's just really hard to get in a scenario where you can use it. His neutral axe air. This move is amazing. It has great priority. For the most part, you can still kind of get hit out of it. But look at how much damage it does. Like, it does 26 points. That's quite a bit for a normal. So basically, unless people dodge through this, they're going to get hit. Now, you can get attacked out of this, because again, Teros can get attacked out of everything. But it is really good to use, because if it has a really generous hitbox, so it's really good for those juggles, if you can remember to use it. Can't believe that that doesn't work. There we go. I had to delay it a little bit. Alright, so yeah, everything with Teros is punishable, by the way. Like this, you can punish his standing neutral with a signature. Like if I go up to you and I'm like this, you can punish me with anything you want. The recovery time is crazy. Like this is me holding back. Like look at that. This is me like holding a direction. So much delay on this. It's nuts. Alright, so anyway. What else do we have to talk about? Let's talk about Teros' signatures. So we know that this one is really probably one of his better ones. And to Drake K. Jellen's point, it's pretty decent to edgeguard with, especially if you're in lower ranks, because as you can see, like, the hitbox ends like where people are trying to jump up. So if you think somebody's gonna jump up, you can do one of these. This move's also really good for reading into dive kicks, because it has basically a hitbox that comes like straight into the dive kick area. Now, it's also nice because it has this deceptive space on it, but you can get hit out of the first hit by like any standing neutral. So like if somebody's like spear neutraling or sword neutraling, like you'll get hit if you try to use this to like cover distance. So just use it cautiously. And anyway, his best signature is this one. This one's amazing because you can do it while people are stacked on you. Basically, if they're in range, they're gonna hit, and it's great for punishing dodges. So basically, like if somebody dodges towards you as Teros, all you do is throw out one of these, and if they're at red health, they die. Like, this thing's got amazing force, and it's got pretty decent damage. So let's see, let's get Bodvar to... We'll get him to orange. Get up here, Bodvar. Get up here, bro. Yeah, so almost a knockout at orange. If you charge it a little bit, it'll do more damage. But, you know, Meow, this edgeguard, it works wherever you can get it to work, so, yeah. Anyway, so that's the axe side of things. Now, with the hammer, the problem that Teros has is that he has very slow move speed and very slow attack speed, and he is really slow. So really, there's only like 3 things you want to be doing with the hammer. The first is stomp into whatever. Okay? So, you're stomp into whatever combos. This is what you want to do. You want to fish around for stomps all the time. Like, every opportunity you get, you should be looking for a stomp. Because it's his most guaranteed source of damage. You're still going to drop it like half of the time. Because it's Teros. And he is very, very, very slow. But when you can land it, it's really good damage. People are going to dodge out of this because you're bad, and because I'm bad, and because Teros is so slow that there is a gap. But you can get it most of the time. So, you want to be fishing for these stomps. Because this is his best way into consistent damage. Now, the most consistent combo with him is probably this one, or into neutral. Because fishing for a side air, you're going to drop it more times than not. Now, the later health they are, the less consistent the combo gets. But, yeah, that's basically what you want to be doing, is down into neutral air, because it's the only really consistent hammer combo he has. His fastest option on the ground is this one, and it still stuffs some moves. It still has, like, some deceptive range on it, which is cool. So this is, like, normal hammer activity. But again, like, you want to be prioritizing stomps, because stomps are king. Alright, let's see what else. So, look for stomps all the time, because this comes out much slower than the stomp, and if we look at the damage, it's actually less damage than the full combo. And, you know, like, if you get the full combo, it's 36 points. If you land this, if you land one hit, it's 16. If you land both hits, it's 33. So this move right now is not that good. And like, if they're stacked on you, the first hit misses, meaning that by the time that the second hit comes out, you're already being punished. Okay? So, the other thing you want to do with Teros on hammer is this move. This move is awesome because it has a deceptively huge range. Like, basically this is the range you want to use it at, is kind of about from here to the edge of the platform. Because at this range, if somebody spear neutrals, they're going to miss. If somebody Ada signatures, they're going to miss. If somebody does whatever. The only thing that you get caught out by with this is typically like lance or guns can still mess with it. But the reason is because at this range, right? The only thing that really travels at this range is the lance, or like, you know, Nye's spear neutral is about as big as this. So this move is really good because it can really catch people off guard. It's also good for catching people who like to empty spear like empty side spear. So if you have somebody that's going like this, right, and you get your spacing correct, you can actually, like, while they're doing that, you can walk forward a little bit and hit them with this on the way down, because the hitbox will catch them as they're landing. Unless, of course, they're playing really defensive and they're going like this, and you know, the dial back on side airs is, the backpedaling is gonna go down quite a bit. So to recap, look for these. That's like your best combo. Don't drop it all the time like me, because I'm a giant scrub. And look for stops. When they're far away, do one of these, and you know, then the rest is kind of normal and not really Teros specific. And again, when you're on the axe, like, you basically want to be doing like this and this. This, if they're jumping in, you know, but your most consistent moves are this one and the side air. So that's about it. I mean, the rest of it is all about reading with Teros, you know, so like, some of the things that are happening in Plat that people do is, like, something that's really common is people will, like, they'll jump up here and then they'll go like this, right? Because they're expecting you to attack, right? Because you're edge guarding. All throughout Silver and Gold, people would do this on the edge. They'd be like, yar, edge guard, right? So people, by the time they get to Plat, they're used to doing this. So what do? You stand here as Teros and you wait for them to come up, and once they do, you just hit them with that, and then you win. That's basically Teros in a nutshell. Don't use this move. Whenever you hit with this, it's because you got lucky. Let's be honest. I really want to land this where it goes through, because I saw it happen on a bot today, and I was like, what? Oh, 10 damage. 15 damage. Okay, so anyway. Thanks, guys, for watching me complain about Teros. Hopefully some of his stuff gets improved soon, because I still love him. I think he's just got some pretty core weaknesses. So, anyway. Yeah. Let's get back into customs.